welcome to my channel to a brand new video. In today's video I'm going to be discussing a topic that I don't think everyone knows I have, but I feel like I should discuss this because it's something that many people go through during anorexia recovery, and that is OCD. So if you didn't already know, I was diagnosed with OCD last year, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and it's basically, I personally got it off my anorexia, and during my anorexia phases, and most of my OCD tendencies revolve around food and revolve around eating, and they're just really weird rituals that I have put in place and routines that I've put in place that don't need to be there, but they are really bad habits and I really struggle to break them. And currently I'm working on my anorexia recovery rather than focusing so much on my OCD, and I know that I should really be trying to challenge my OCD, but I have challenged some of my OCD, but I just need to challenge it more, and something I'll discuss within depth what I need to challenge especially. But the reason I'm focusing so much on my anorexia recovery is because I feel like when I challenge my OCD, it gets me stressed, and stress causes a lot of coping mechanisms and causes me to restrict, basically. So I'm trying to stop myself from falling into them patterns of restriction by making sure that I'm definitely 100% there with my anorexia recovery first. And obviously that's going to take time and stuff, but I'm going to be challenging my OCD as well within my anorexia, but just currently I just feel like I need to just take a bit of a break almost in a way from challenging my OCD, because it can cause a lot of stress from my anorexia. So first of all, I'm going to just discuss what kind of things I do with my OCD, like my rituals, routines, habits or whatever. And if you're easily triggered and you're quite sensitive to this topic, then I recommend you go ahead and click off this video, because I will be discussing my habits and stuff like that, and I know that I would hate to upset someone basically who's struggling. So let's begin with talking about my actual behaviours and what I did and when it all started. So actually I showed OCD tendencies when I was around 7 years old, which is quite a long time ago. And when I was 7 years old, I had an obsession with doors, which probably sounds very weird, but I had an obsession with doors being shut. So at my old house, because as I mentioned in my previous video that I currently live in a different house to my childhood home, but in my childhood home I had an obsession with closing doors. The doors, the living room doors especially, always had to be shut no matter what. I don't know why this is, but when I moved house I was able to break this habit, because I think it was the fact that in my old house, I would see the doors directly, so there was like a door there, then a door there. But then in my new living room's a lot more like lengthed, and it's more like lengthy, and the doors are behind me most of the times. I don't really see them as much. So I don't know if that's kind of a change of what I was able to stop doing it basically, but I had an obsession with closing doors. So for a while I did show some OCD tendencies, and this annoyed my parents so much because I'd be back and forward every time they would go upstairs and come downstairs and leave the door open. Even if it was like a tiny little bit, it had to be shut properly, and I would do this all the time, and I did this for like a lot of years until I moved in 2014 to the house that I currently live in now. So I was doing them behaviours for some time. So then obviously my OCD behaviour settled, and then when it was in 2017 my OCD started properly. And last year, especially in September 2018, my OCD got extremely strong and really bad, to be honest, I'd say. But it all began when I went to my first appointments at CAMS. So when you go to CAMS or like EDICT or whatever you say, your community team, they obviously give you meal plans, and I didn't stick to the meal plans, but I had like a clear understanding of what I had to stick to. So I knew that I had to stick to breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, night snack. So I knew that I had to stick to them, and I did. I made sure that I had them every single day for like periods of time. I didn't stick though to what was on the meal plan, like 1 bit of protein, 2 thingies, 6 carbs, whatever. Like I didn't stick to that kind of thing, and in a way I'm glad I didn't, because I feel like I'd be far too grasped onto that in that control aspect of things, and I feel like I'd be in a much different position if I did stick to a meal plan. But another thing that happened there was, this was later on afterwards, they mentioned about times, and they mentioned because I was having bloating that I need to eat between 2 to 3 hours between every meal. So then they set like times almost in a way, so that I have my breakfast at 9, I have my morning snack at 11, I have my lunch at 1, I have my afternoon snack at 3, and I have my dinner at 5. And this was like, this just stuck in my head. Like, they didn't mean that to set that, and that wasn't set, but for some reason them times stuck in my head, and I became quite obsessed with them times, and I wouldn't eat any other time except from these times. So I wouldn't let myself eat when I was hungry. I'd have to wait until these times, and it was extremely frustrating. And I just want to say I still do this now, to be honest. The only days when I don't really listen to times is probably on my indulgence days, and it's extremely difficult to break these routines, but it's something that I still do. So going backwards, for some reason the lunch and the breakfast and everything that they all stayed the same for some time, but then my dinner got later and it went to 6, and then my breakfast got later and it went to 10, and then I started missing my morning snack, and because I was like, oh well, it's no point because I'll be having my lunch pretty soon. And then for some reason the times just kept getting later and later and later, so my breakfast stayed the same for some time, but then unfortunately my dinner just kept getting later and later and later, and it got like literally all the way up till 9 p.m. and I still struggle with this now. Like, I still struggle with eating late, and I don't know why, because I know that many people struggle with eating earlier, but I struggle with eating later. I struggle with eating earlier on, and many people struggle with eating later, so it's quite weird for me to be struggling with eating earlier on, but it's something that I don't know why. I just feel more comfortable eating at nighttime and eating like at night. Yeah, I don't know why, but it's something that I created in my brain, that I don't like eating early on. So then my breakfast got later, and I was literally having my breakfast at like 11 a.m. and like obviously that's insane. Like, that's really really late, and even if I woke up early I'd have to wait until 11 a.m. So for example, when I used to go for bloods, I had to wake up at 7 a.m. and I would wait. Like, my mom would always try and be like, you need to have breakfast before you leave, and I'd be like, but I don't want breakfast, I need to wait until 11 o'clock, and there would be constant arguments about this all the time, but I would literally wait until 11 for breakfast. So them times, like, for some reason though, my lunch stayed at 1 o'clock until quite recently when it's changed again. So obviously I'm mentioning that I'm still struggling with OCD, and I'm still struggling with times, and still struggling with eating at later on during the day and stuff. So I just want to mention that I'm not recovered at all from my OCD, to be honest. I worked on some of my kind of things, but not all of it. And then another of my behaviors that I do, my OCD behaviors, is everything needs to be perfect. And I know this is also an ED tendency, but my OCD works in hand with so it's like the fuel of the fire, basically. And so my plate has to look perfect when it's presented. It needs to be really nice and clean. I hate anything around the edges of the plate, so if like a little bit of like a drop of bean juice or whatever went on the side of the plate, I'd have to quickly wipe it off. I hate anything like that. It needs to just look clean and nice to eat. And I think the reason for this is my brain still has this kind of thing of being like, this is going to be your last meal, so you need to make it worthwhile. This is going to be the last time you eat, so you need to make it worthwhile. It's still got them kind of restriction brain thoughts in my brain, and it still fears that I'm not going to give it every little thing that it deserves and wants. So it kind of like my ED kind of thing, that, well, if you're going to eat, it needs to be perfect, and if you're going to eat, then it needs to be like it's going to be your last meal, and which makes no sense whatsoever, because I know like 10 minutes later or whatever I'm going to go have a snack, but for some reason my brain still tries to make it so everything needs to be perfect. So it really really upsets me when things aren't perfect. Like, I mean, like, I almost start like, I shake because I hate it. And then another thing with making things perfect is when I'm cooking food as well, which is also quite weird because I don't really think this is quite a common thing, but when I'm cooking food, it needs to look perfect when it's cooking. So for example, if I'm putting fries in the oven, I have to lay out the fries in order and really neatly. Like they can't, normal people would just go ahead and throw some fries on a tray and put them in the oven. I don't do that. I need to lay them out really neatly from smallest to largest on a tray. Why? I don't know, but does it comfort me? For some reason. And when I don't do it, I just don't know, I feel like my life's out of control, all over some stupid fries on a tray. So I still do that now actually, which is so stupid saying it out loud. But when I say it out loud, I just feel like, oh, that is so stupid. But I literally spend like 50 minutes of my life laying out these strips. And it's something I need to work on, but I haven't worked on it yet because like, I haven't mentioned that I'm still trying to work on my ED first and then try and work on these stupid behaviour things that aren't really that affecting my life, but still it frustrates me to be in a way, to be honest. And then another OCD routine thing that I have is that the entire kitchen needs to be tidy. So every time I eat, I clean up the kitchen. And it used to be really bad. Before Christmas, it was so bad. Like everything had to be wiped, everything had to be like brushed, the floor had to be brushed, even the kitchen. Everything had to be off the benches have to be wiped, everything had to be away, clean. It looks nice enough for me to eat in the environment, which is quite crazy, but similar to the everything needs to be neat on the plate, it was everything needs to be neat around me. But this got challenged during Christmas when there was buffets or whatever in the kitchen and everything was all over. My OCD was going crazy, but it challenged me a lot, and now I'm not as, if you notice on the background of my videos, there's sometimes like things laid out or whatever, and that is because of my, why am I rocking? I'm just like sitting here like rocking. But for some reason that really helped me. But if you watch my videos, you can see in the background that there's like things laid over the place because it doesn't bother me that much. I still go ahead and I still wipe down benches, I still wipe down my trays, I still pretty much clean, well, to an extent around me, but I don't go as extreme as I do. And also there's this little cupboard door next to me, and my mom usually has it out for my dog because my dog usually goes under the cupboard under the stairs, but for some reason I always have to shut it. Like I hate it being open. That's a door thing once again, so it's still there but in a different aspect of light. I just noticed that, so I need to challenge that. Doors, what is it with doors? Mean doors, what on earth? Why? And then another thing that happens is that I used to have an outfit that I would wear pretty much every single day. So I'd wear it, then I'd wash it, then I'd wear it, then I'd wash it, and it'd just be like, it was just an obsessive outfit that I'd have to wear, and it was a stupid black and white stripy dress, and I just got really obsessed with it, and I don't know why. I was really obsessed with it. And then another thing, I challenged that. But then if I challenged that and I stopped wearing that every single day and I tried to spread out what I was wearing and whatnot. And then basically what happened was that for some reason, this is gonna sound insane. It is insane, Emma. Why are you doing this to yourself? I've got a mirror there, by the way. Basically, what I'd have to do is that if I was wearing a different outfit and I ordered myself a Domino's and I was about to eat the Domino's, I would have to get changed into this stupid outfit to eat my Domino's. I know, how stupid is that? But for some reason, if I didn't, I feel as if I wouldn't enjoy the meal as much. But yes, it was something that my OCD made me do, and that's so stupid saying it out loud, but I would have to get changed to eat Domino's, so, and I had to wear a specific outfit to eat Domino's. It's stupid, I know, but that was something that happened. So a couple of other things that I do is that the table has to be cleared. If I'm eating in the living room, everything has to be off the table. Even if there's like a plant on the table, everything needs to be off. I also have a bit of an OCD obsession with tights. If you see, I don't really wear jeans that often, and when I did wear jeans, it was such a big deal for me, and sometimes I wear tights underneath the jeans just to comfort me. Weird, I know, but like I have an obsession with wearing tights, and I have no idea why, but I wear them all the time, and it's just something there too. And then I also, when I had my OCD in the beginning, my really early stages of recovery, I had like I had like a safe food, but then it wasn't just a safe food, it was also my OCD compelled me to eat this food. So I ate the same meal every single night for like a month, and that was like rice and chicken for like a month, and it was insane. Like honestly, like I didn't enjoy it. So when I started to spread out my meals, I definitely preferred that. But yes, like I mentioned, like they're just stupid things that I do, but my times and my routines are the same things. So I also used to have a routine where I'd have to wake up at 6 a.m. every single morning. I'd have to do like when I was doing my anorexia, I'd have to do some exercise, and I got out of the exercise phase, but my brain would still wake me up at 6 a.m. so I would still be waking up at 6 a.m. and I just have to sit there, and obviously my exercise urges was really strong because I was like, oh well, I'm not doing anything, I might as well exercise, but I just had to sit there for like until like 7 or something to then go back off to sleep, and it was just so stupid, but it was something that my brain just kind of did. Like it's mad how our brain makes routines and just sets things in our mind to make a thingy. And another thing that I feel like sometimes my obsessive compulsive disorder kind of thingy on is like when I get work, it needs to be completed the same day, even if it's like like this thick like chunk of work, it needs to be completed, and I will spend all day all night completing it until it's done. So as you can see, my OCD isn't just in eating foods and stuff, it's in also like stupid little things like that. So I hope this gave you insight, and I will challenge some of my OCD tendencies during my recovery and during everything to do with my anorexia recovery. I've already challenged some things, I've already got over some things, like my outfits and whatever, but it's gonna take time to do that, and I feel like I just want to make sure 100% that I am really in a good mindset with my anorexia before I try and stress myself out by doing the OCD thing. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight in my OCD, and if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to me and follow my journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.